I got a big stack. I feel you should have a big stack.
Big is a relatable term. There's no risk. What is big?
It's a sliding scale, but you need to slide yours over to like a big stack.
How far are we sliding? Is
all the way, like all the way.
Yeah, that's a lot of sliding.
I got a bad feeling about your stack. Welcome back to Talking Story. Hey, my name is John Minton. That right there is my literary wingman, the best producer on BookTube, Little Jakey Two Swords, my little chull of happiness. Say hey.
Hello.
I'm going to stop at 4.
You know what? 4 is classy. I like 4 is humble even.
I feel like 4 is classy.
4 is good. I like 4. My name is Jacob, and I'm happy to be here.
All right. This is everything we read in the month of September.
I noticed you got a bit of a leaning tower over there.
It's huge.
It's making me feel a little self-conscious about myself.
It was a big, it was my birthday month. I loaded it up and I had my reads were off the chart. Such a great time.
Yeah, I do remember a lot of the reads that you talked about. Not all of them. So I'll be interested to hear, you go through them. And I do remember you loved a lot of them. So
I had a great time with a lot of them.
Picking a book of the month is going to be interesting.
We'll see. We'll see if it's going to be difficult or not.
Do you have one picked?
You know what? Going through these again, I might remind myself of how much I liked all of these. But there's so many. I'm going to do my best to reel in, condense.
Please. Not go. We'll see about that.
You know what? You do your massive stack first, and let's see how you do.
Before we do that, everybody watching this, do me a favor and look at how long this video is and laugh with me. Ha 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 ha.
You know what? Oh, now you've thrown the gauntlet down.
Now that I've challenged you, you're really going to try. We'll start off with me. Here's my stack. It's very...
That's one book.
I'm very aware. And I actually checked on my Goodreads. This is really like a month and a half of time that I put into this, not just this month.
You know what? But as long as it was a 5-star fun read for you, as long as it was a great read.
It was. It is Kingdoms of Death by Christopher Rocchio. So quantity over quality, right?
Yes.
This is... this.
I believe what you mean is quality over quantity.
You're very right. The opposite of what I said, actually.
You're completely backwards.
Yeah. Kingdoms of Death was absolutely fantastic. It is, now that I think I said this already, it's my favorite of the series.
Mine too.
There's a very specific reason why. And you've read Ashes of Man, right?
I have.
So you've read the next one, and it's still your favorite.
It is still my Kingdoms of Death. Still reigns supreme for me.
Here's the reason why it's my favorite. I don't have to go through what Sun Eater is because this is book 5, 4, 4, book 4.
4.
4.
Yeah, 4
comes after Demon and White, so it is book 4. This is book 4. If you don't know, it's everybody's talking about Sun Eater. You know, Hadrian Marlowe, space opera.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows. This is book 4. And I feel like it is what's been missing from the series. Not in a way that oh man, I got through books 1 through 3 and just felt like there's a note not happening and it's just annoying me. It's not like that. It's just like this was a direction that Hadrian needed in his journey.
Totally agree.
In a way that felt like I'm somebody that enjoys when things go horribly wrong in the story. I like when... Kill Your Darlings is my favorite way to tell stories of I love this character. I want them to have a brutal end and I want to cry. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Kingdoms of Death has a lot of that in it.
It's chock-a-block full of
it is chock-a-block full
bad
of it.
things.
But
it's right there in the title.
In a way that I worried wouldn't work. And I think you and I talked about this before I started reading it because... the side characters are a really big part of why Kingdoms of Death works, and yet the side characters are kind of pushed to the background for books 1 through 3. Maybe books 2 and 3 a little more than book 1, but the side characters you don't necessarily get a lot of time with. A lot of the time they rotate in and out depending on what things are happening in the book.
Yeah,
it's kind of an ever-changing cast. And in Kingdoms of Death, he spends time with them in a way that I really appreciated, which is kind of surprising because this is shorter than the previous book, Demon in White, and yet we still had that time to kind of dig into the emotionality of what this journey has done to other people that are not Hadrian Marlowe. And it wrapped up so nicely at the end, not just with the climax of, Kingdoms of Death, obviously bad things happen, but also the very, very end, just the last 10 pages were so bittersweet in a way that it's one of those endings that, like, as it's happening, in the back of your head, oh, this is happening and it's going to break me. And you read it and you know it's coming and it breaks you anyway. It was really beautiful in a way that next time I see Christopher in person, I'm going to tell him, I didn't know that you had this gear in you to that degree. And it's really powerful what you did. I really love this book.
As you said, this is book 4.
Sure. Yeah. There's more to go.
And we know the final book 7 in the Sun Eater saga is dropping in November. You and I will be at the big gala event. So you will get to tell him this personally. You'll get to tell him in person.
I will.
And if anyone else is interested in meeting us or being there for that, we're going to put the link right down there. I do believe there are still tickets available.
There are still tickets. Or if you're interested in meeting Christopher, which I would argue is way more exciting than meeting us.
No, that's more what I meant.
But I will say this. I don't know if you saw this. You probably did. Patrick posted his review of Shadows Upon Time today.
I did, but I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I just saw the title that was like a greatest sci-fi ending or whatever he called it, that I was like, that gets me excited.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I have no doubt he lands the plane in grand fashion. Like, I have no doubts.
He's an incredible talent. And now I'm, knee deep into Ashes of Man and thoroughly enjoying it. But I didn't finish it, so I didn't bring that out here. I just want to talk about Kingdoms of Death.
Totally fair. Yeah. Totally fair. Well, that's a one book list, but that's still a great list.
Like you said,
I'm going to go great list.
Like you corrected me. Quality over quantity. It was a good time. So that is obviously my book of the month.
That's a darn fine one. I think even when I did it, it was my book of the month, and it was not my only one, but I still picked it.
I think it was. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we move on to your list, we do actually have something else we have to cut away and talk about real quick.
Okay, well, let's do that.
Absolutely. We'll be right back. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Flexispot, who sent us the C7 Max chair. You guys know we don't really take sponsors unless we test out the product and we really love it and believe in it. So when Flexispot contacted us and sent us the chair so graciously, we honestly gave it a shot. And oh my God, this chair is incredible.
You tried it out. You sat in this chair. More importantly, I sit in this chair. This chair lives at Command Central here at the channel, and I think the reason why, I think the fine folks at Flexispot took pity on me. They saw me squirming around in that old chair I had. This is amazing. I am so much more comfortable on live streams now. I'm so much comfortable on live streams. I asked you, how long can our camera go? Because we can do marathons now. I don't have discomfort at all.
And oh my God, the features on this thing.
Oh, 3D adjustable headrest. Adjustable backrest, lumbar support with sacrum support, adjustable seat depth with a memory foam cushion, a 5D armrest that goes every which way, and this bad boy reclines.
Sit comfortably for 12 hours while you read, write, or game, or anything else in the C7 Max chair from Flexispot. Or if you want a little bit of a more budget-friendly option, they still have the C5 chair available on their website. Or if you want a brand new option, you can pick up the C7 Morpher on their website. Head in the description. We've got a link down there that'll get $50 off of your order. And once again, thanks to Flexispot for sponsoring us. Now, back to the video.
Thank you, Flexispot. I'm comfy.
You better be comfy, because you got to sit there and go through that whole stack of books.
I am extremely comfy. Okay, first, you know what? I had a little extra time. So first off, I'm going to go over just some little extra things I threw in there through the month.
By extra things that you threw in there, do you mean that you cobbled together the amount of pages that you read?
No, I didn't do that. I did not add anything up. Maybe
another month goes by.
the amazing Rose can do that for me. I still didn't do it. I had every intention of doing it. No, but the extra stuff, like just little extra things, like One Piece Volume 20.
Absolutely.
I had time to grab this, and oh man, I got to tell you, Alabasta. I've got several more volumes to go to get to the end. This is my favorite
of all the ones you've read so far.
Yes.
Really? Is it emotional or?
Oh, I don't know. It's action packed. It's thought provoking. It's not just action. It's actually there's some machinations going on here. It's a little bit of a, well, I don't want to give spoilers away, but there's a little bit of a revolution, and what's pushing the revolution is dastardly, so much so that I have a new complete favorite villain. This Crocodile is the worst in the best way. And this just had moments where my jaw unhinged. It's like there was some throwdowns in this, and some things happened that just like, I'm telling you, Alabasta, my favorite story arc, hands down so far. Like I've had really great moments, but it's like, this has really been so much fun. And I was so happy to pick it up and get past volume 20. I know the crew is going to get together probably after the first little bit of volume 24. So I'm steadily working towards getting together with everybody again. But Alabasta, huge hit for me. Everybody got their moment in the spotlight in this one. Everyone had their time to shine. It had some jaw-dropping moments. It's got a great story, great setting. Just my fave so far.
Wow, man. Your fave One Piece so far, and that's the start of the list.
That's the start of the list. Then you know what? I had some time. I threw in some short stories. I do have this short story collection I'm kind of working my way through. This is The Way the World Ends by all these amazing writers that are getting to play in the sandbox of Stephen King's world that he created when he wrote The Stand.
By the way, The Way the World Ends is not at all the title of that book.
The End of the World as We Know It.
That is correct.
You know what? I'm glad we're here because I got to correct you and now you got to correct me. But I got to pick up and read like the next 3 stories, which were Every Dog Has His Day by Brian Smith, Lockdown by Ben Vinson, and In a Pig's Eye by Joe R. Lansdale. And really enjoying it. Really enjoyed the Joe R. Lansdale story because it's such a Joe R. Lansdale story. This is all in the beginning of when the superflu is hitting, when Captain Trips is just starting to spread and everything's crumbling and falling. And I'm kind of getting a feeling of, that story kind of feels the same no matter what of this amazing group of authors tells a story in that territory. It's kind of having the same kind of feeling. Either it's a huge city or a very small town or a very, very small community, and the Captain Trips, the superflu gets there and what happens and how it crumbles. And it kind of feels the same. And then I got to Joe R. Lansdale, and it's like, yeah, that's going on, but it's still such a Joe R. Lansdale story. Like, it could go in this collection or it could not. It could just be a Joe R. Lansdale story. So it was like I really enjoyed it. It was really a breath of fresh air, and had fun with these as I'm continuing to work through that collection. And then I had extra time still, so I grabbed some comics. This is one of the few times that we've got a new Batman #1. So you know how I am about Batman. Not only did I have to grab #1, I had to grab one of the collector covers in a bag.
I want to see this.
So I didn't just have to buy a copy to read. I had to buy one of the sealed collector covers. Why? Because I'm that guy. When it comes to Batman, I'm that guy.
Nerd.
And now I'm that guy that can't get out of the bag. Yeah, here we go. Look at this.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's J. Scott Campbell's cover. Look at that. A little bit of foil action. So cool, right?
I love the blue and gray.
So the new Batman #1, written by Matt Fraction, art by Jorge Jimenez. And wow, I really love this new direction. I haven't picked up issue 2 yet. I'm not sure if it's out. But it was so much fun. A little bit of a sci-fi flair. A little bit of a little bit of a different take on Batman. Not. I don't know. I really liked it. A little bit more thoughtful, a little bit more emotional, than just the bruiser wading in and doing what needs to be done. So, I mean, that may happen down the road, but new gadgets, new Batmobile. Really, really enjoyed this. So had to grab that and work my way through it. It was so much fun. And then look at this. There have been a very, very few handful of times when the two giants of Marvel and DC come together and collaborate and put something out. And that has happened. Deadpool and Batman, Marvel and DC. So it's a Deadpool Batman story here by Zeb Wells. And then there's just some other stories through here about amazing characters meeting, getting together. Wonder Woman and Captain America, Daredevil and Green Arrow. There's just some amazing pairings. Wolverine and Batman, Frank Miller Batman kind of towards the end here. It was just so much fun. Every once in a while, they will do this. They'll come together and put out something in tandem, and I had to grab it, had to pick it up. So this was a lot of fun as well.
That's pretty cool. I had no idea that you read that. I'd like to read that sometime.
I will pass it off to you if you'd like.
Sure.
In December, I think we get Batman Deadpool. We get the second.
Okay.
The flip of that. And then I had time for a few more comics, and you know how I love me some comics. So I caught up with James Tynion's The Fourth World Tree from Image Comics. That I had 3 issues stacked up here, and I caught up with that. This is so hard to describe, but so awesome. Think about it, a little bit cyberpunk, a little bit post-apocalyptic, a little bit mystery, a little bit slasher flick. This group of people that discovers that the internet is not only the internet, there is something deep, dark hiding underneath and below the World Wide Web, and it's trying to ascend and get up. And if you search just right or just far enough, it could sink its hooks into you, and horrible hijinks ensue after that. So it's really interesting. It's really phenomenal how he takes all these different genres, puts them in a blender, and comes out with something kind of really special. The characters are great. The action is great. If you're looking for like kind of a really out there, creepy, cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic mystery slasher that takes no prisoners, holds nothing back, and is truly in your face with some of the storytelling elements and the violence, this is a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this. It's up to issue 16 now. So I did get caught back up with James R. Tynion's World Tree. And the art on this is by Blanco, I believe. Yep. So that was a lot of fun.
Lovely.
And that's all the little extra sundry kind of things that I threw in there for the month.
That's a lot of comics for you, man. That's been a while since you picked up that many comics.
I had a great time with comics this month.
What a birthday month.
I kind of was really enjoying it.
Yeah. Glad you got a new Batman in your birthday month. How special is that?
How
By
amazing
Matt
is
Fraction,
that?
nonetheless, it was awesome.
I mean, Matt Fraction relaunches Batman at #1 for my birthday month. Like, that's just, there's no way that's not getting picked up.
Someone planned that. Someone told Matt Fraction, there's this guy named John.
And you would make his big birthday.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's exactly.
That he wouldn't have done it if not for that. I heard.
No, absolutely not. So, are you ready?
Are
you ready to get into the big stack?
I'm ready for the big stack. Let's do it.
All right. I started the month with the Quilluminati read. And the Quilluminati is kind of like the book club of my brothers. I'm talking Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, Dr. Chase from The Best of Fantasy, and Brian Bell himself from BellTube. And this is all Brian Bell's brainchild of how to bring us together. Once a quarter, we pick a read that we might not have read on our own, kind of off the beaten path a little bit. And we give it a shot and we read it, and we all come together in the Quilluminati Convocation meeting once a quarter, and we talk about it. And this was Dr. Chase's pick, and we did The Hour of the Dragon by Robert E. Howard. This is like the only full novel-length Conan story. And I had never read a Conan story. I had kind of discovered Robert E. Howard when I was in high school, and I really got into Solomon Kane because a lot of people were reading Conan, and it's like I didn't want to be like everybody else. I guess I was that guy in high school, so I read a lot of Solomon Kane, but I had never read a Conan story, and I had a really fun time with this, and I had even more fun talking with the Illuminati about it. The things that struck me about this is I think I had the wrong idea, the wrong perception of a Conan story, in that he is not infallible. Oftentimes, his life was saved a time or two by one of his friends, and sometimes his own clumsiness. Like he would duck a sword stroke at him because he kind of tripped over his own feet a time or two. He kind of started out this story being taken off the board when a horrible wizard resurfaces and drugs him and takes him off the board. So he wasn't infallible, this forced Terminator type that just keeps coming and doesn't stop. He was like more of a tactician, had some things about himself that he had to overcome. And this is kind of later in his adventuring. He's already a king. He's already running a kingdom. He's already a little bit longer in the tooth. His kingdom is stripped away from him. He doesn't quite know if he has it in him anymore to get this kingdom back. And he has to almost do like his greatest hits. He has to go pirating. He has to go adventuring. He has to go, all these things that he's done when he was young and coming up. He has to kind of go back again to get some friends together again, to find things again, to have a chance to possibly get his kingdom back for his people. And it's always a little bit of a question of, has prime time passed him by? Is he going to be able to pull this off? And it was really fun. The one thing I did notice is that, of course, this was written back in the pulps and it had that amazing pulpy feel. There's no doubt time and place of where this came from. It takes you back to those times when you could smell the wood fiber coming right off the pages when you read this, because it does absolutely have that pulpy sword and sorcery storytelling feel. And it was a lot of fun. And we had a great time with the Illuminati talking about it. So, that was an amazing way to start off the month.
Yeah, you had another bang, starting off with the buddy read of all buddy reads that you do once a quarter.
Oh, yeah. And then it was time, what? But I'm going to hold it. I just thought of a segue, but I'm going to hold it.
Okay.
Then it was time. Our amazing producers recommended in one of our producer meetings that, you should go off the beaten path a little bit. Maybe you should do something that, maybe someone from a completely different country that has a totally different way of telling a story, open yourself up, branch out a little bit. So I hit up your mom, my wife, because there's no one better.
Oh, of course. Yeah. She's the king at recommendations.
To help me with a challenge like that. And she said, you know what? Augustina's Bazterika's The Unworthy is what you want to do. She had just read it not long ago and really enjoyed it. So at the behest of the producers and at the recommendation of the missus, I picked this up. And this was everything that I think that I was asking for when I wanted something a little different. This was like, oh, wow, this was just the way this starts. It throws you in the deep end. It's a first-person account, a post-apocalyptic story, this young woman trying to make a go of it, trying to live out her days in this completely collapsed world that is passed on from society by finding her way and being able to exist within this cult, because it is a safe spot in what's going on in the rest of the world. But through her getting this story to us, and she's writing this story with any nub of charcoal, sometimes with a pinprick in her own blood, and she's hiding the pages on her because if they're found, it could be really, really hideous consequences for her. So from these little dispatches that she's putting together whenever she can, late at night in her room, or hiding during the day, with these little dispatches, you start to understand more and more about this character that's telling the story, the world itself, the mystery that's unraveling, the new characters that are creeping into this cult type situation. How was this cult formed? Why was it formed? What exactly is going on? and it's almost like you're reading this book through a keyhole. You just get a very, very kind of occluded lens, and you can only get just how much of this dispatch that she's passing to you under the door almost as this goes on. And then you start piecing it together almost like a puzzle. It's something that you have to work a little bit at, but it's so worth it because it kept me turning the pages because it was so interesting, and I wanted to know all the ins and outs of this world. I wanted to understand how she got to where she was, and I wanted to understand why she would put herself in this situation because, as we all do moving through this life, whether it's in a post-apocalyptic world or otherwise, there's guilt and grief and baggage that we're carrying that forms us and makes us who we are. And it's because of those things that she's carrying that is the real mystery. Not only the mystery they're trying to solve of what's going on, but the mystery of where she's come from, why she's here, and who she is, and why she's the way she is because of what she's carrying. And all those little glimmers of story come at you in these dispatches that she's passing to you. Just really had a great time with this. Absolute. And the narrative voice was off the chart. This character had a way of speaking and talking and telling this story unlike any other character and writer I've read in quite some time. So it was quite singular, quite sparkling, quite witty. Even though it sounds really bleak, it had amazing moments of just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she just said that. That's hilarious. So it operated on so many different levels and was such an amazing read. And the compression, like, look at that. Not thick at all. There's so much going on in so few pages here. Really quite the achievement by Augustina Bazterrica.
I know towards the end we usually do, like, the ones that are up for contention for Book of the Month, but go in the description. But maybe for that one, we'll just say right now, if that sounds interesting to you, you can pick it out in the description.
Throw that down there because this is
a little more off the beaten path and more people should get to it.
For sure. And this is the segue I thought about earlier. Let's thank some folks because I would not have picked this up unless it was brought to me at one of our producer meetings. And these are the fine folks. They keep the lights on. They give us recommendations of what to do here on the channel at these producer meetings. They take over the channel when we spin the camera around and do what we call Town Square, which is coming up this month in September, or this month in October. And they're just the amazing people that make everything happen here, do all the heavy lifting. These are our correspondents, directors, and producers. Right down there, our fine patrons at Patreon, as well as down there is our Discord and everything else, everywhere else we hang out. If you want to explore it, it's all down there for you. But thanks to each and every one of you for making all of this possible.
Thanks, everybody.
Just a quick break in the action to thank all of our correspondents, directors, and producers on Patreon. These people keep the lights on. They make decisions for us because we don't know what we're doing. We're not great at making the decisions around here. The decisions all the way from what I'm going to read next, what the book club of the month Patreon pick is going to be, but all the way up to video ideas and what we're going to do here on the channel coming up for you. If you're interested or you want to find out how you can be a part of this, right down there in the description box, click the Patreon link. It's got all the answers for you. And once again, thank you to all of these fine people that are helping us build the channel, our correspondents, directors, and producers. All right, you ready to push on?
I'm ready. Now we got the big ones left, it looks like.
Now we got the big ones, but it's kind of misleading.
I was going to say this one, but I have a little bit of a caveat to it.
Because this big one is all 4 books of the Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham. Now, I've been doing a buddy read here with my good buddy Josh at Red Fairy Books and Alan at Library of Allenxandria. We've been doing one of these a month until we get through all 4 books of the Long Price Quartet. And this was, for my birthday, the final book. We wrapped it up. We wrapped up the series with The Price of Spring. What can I say? I have covered this every month now for 4 months. And I kept thinking and I kept saying, and we just had, Wednesday, a couple nights ago? A night this week, we just had our final discussion of all 3 of us getting together and talking about the whole series as well as the final book, The Price of Spring. And I've been saying all along, it's like, man, I think next year, because we redo every year our top fantasy series here on the channel, I'm pretty positive this is going to push something off. This is making the list. And now that I've read all 4 of these, I can absolutely say with no compunctions at all, this is going to make the list.
Will it be high on the list?
It will be high on the list.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's probably within the top 5.
Jeez. Okay. Very high.
Look, this is one of those. This was just special to me. This is one of those things. Now we come to epic fantasy for all the same reasons. Sometimes we like these climactic moments, these battles, these duels, these amazing storytelling times in these fantastical worlds and lands. This does have that, but it also has the amazing drama of the quiet moments. This is following. It's following that way. If you go back to the Greek dramas and Shakespeare and the greatest storytellers from the very beginning, yes, this is a story about the kings and queens and the influencers and the people that make the decisions and the people that shape their world. They are the main characters of this story. But it's not them swinging the sword at the final battle. It's not them in all these dramatic moments. Sometimes it's just them dealing with the relationships and their own interpersonal struggles and their demons from their own past and what they see in their future. It's those quiet moments that we can all relate to. I've had a moment where I've sat down with a friend and had that conversation. Even though that conversation might lead to something that changes this entire world forever, because these are the people that make things happen and shake things up. But it's still told in a way that's so approachable because Daniel Abraham is not afraid of taking the time to find and milk the drama from these quiet, real relationships. And all these 4 books kind of revolve around the relationship of these 2 men. They start as boys, and then there's almost like a 12 to 15 year time cut between each of these 4 books. So what you end up with in The Price of Spring is them at the end of their lives, struggling with all the decisions that they've made. And this book, these 4 books, maybe more than so many others in this genre, I think, focus around the consequences of these choices that they've made, these relationships that they've traveled within, these jobs and duty and honor and these decisions that's pulled them to take over things and try and run things for the best, that they can look at themselves in the mirror and say, I did the best for my people. These times and these places and these things happening all have consequences. And these consequences mount from the very introduction of book 1 to the very epilogue of book 4. It's nothing but layer upon layer upon layer of these decisions and consequences of each step they take, mounting and coming with a cost, and that cost having to be paid. And it is a long price to be paid. And Daniel Abraham absolutely swings for the fences here. I've never seen character arcs that change so much through a story. Just beautifully done. And I've never seen a fantasy world that is completely changed and different from the beginning of this book to the end of this book. Unrecognizable, this landscape from where it starts to where it ends, because of the happenings and the earth-shaking decisions and choices and consequences that these characters have to pay for, that they've taken these steps through their lives together. These two men that start off as boys, Mati and Ota. And this is special, man. This was a special series, and gonna be top 5. I think it's gonna be top 5.
So, question: I assume it's up for contention for Book of the Month. You're not able to put the whole thing up for Book of the Month because you only
just
read
The Price of Spring, because that's all I read this month.
Right. Okay. Just checking.
There you go. And then it was time for our indie read of the month.
Ooh, which is always linked in the description. So if what he talks about, check out the first book in the description for this series.
This was book 3 of Michael R. Miller's The Songs of Chaos, Defiant. And was so excited to get back to this world and get back a little bit of Holt Cook and Ash and spend some time with them. Really had a fun time here. Here's what I will say about this. Not my favorite book of the series.
Sure, right.
I still think book 2 for me is my fave so far, Unbound. I think Defiant had amazing high moments, and I had so much fun. The world got bigger. The consequences got harder to pay. Everything got dialed up to 11 here. But when we dialed it up to 11, it got more and more and more spread out. And I thought for my personal taste in book 2, I had so much fun with like this found family and this close crew that we kind of had, this storytelling crew. And I don't want to say the characters' names because you're still in book 1 and you haven't met all these characters yet. So I don't know if you've met. I can't say it. I can't say any.
So you want to say like the first letter?
No, I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to. But
okay.
But that group that kind of started in book 1 and grew in book 2 to the point where it's like, oh, we almost had like this Ocean's 11 type feel of this group way up against it, having to accomplish this mission that there's, how are they ever going? How is this group of misfits ever going to possibly accomplish what they're setting out to accomplish here in this fantasy world? And I'm telling you, book 2 was everything to me. And then in book 3, we got a little bit broader in scope. We got a little bit more spread out. The chaos that the songs are about grew and grew. Like everything gets amped up to 11, which is really cool. But as we got more and more characters and more scope, I started missing the time with this little group of misfits that I had in the Unbound. And for me, that was so much magic that I thought as we got a little bit big, I didn't quite have the connection that I had for the characters in book 2. But what I will say, when I did get back to my merry band that I can't mention because of you're in book 1.
Right.
When we did get back to that merry band, to that handful of characters that I so love, and I so love the arcs of where they're going, because it does that amazing trick of some of these characters start out, some of these that you kind of think you might love to hate through the series, they start to go a different way, and you start kind of rooting for them, even though you never saw that coming your way. So it's like they all different types of flavors with this little group of this little family that's forming. And when we had those moments with those characters, it was absolutely special. I am so excited to pick up the next book, Reckoning, that just came out, because I'm going to say five, six of the main characters that we're really following these storylines of, I cannot wait to get back to and see what happens in this world. So had a great time. Not my favorite of the series. Had a great time though. Had a lot of fun. If you're looking for Dragon Rider fantasy that is fun for all ages, that you can enjoy together as a family, like put that audiobook on in the car while you're all driving somewhere, or this is it, man. This is going to tickle every bit of nostalgia and fun. And you can introduce maybe your kids what you found when you first picked up Tolkien or Paolini or whatever it was that sunk you in and made you a fan of fantasy forever. This could do that. Absolutely. This could be that gateway for some of maybe your youngins, your sons, your daughters, your nephews, your nieces. This absolutely has that type of magic appeal.
Yeah, as someone a little bit into the first book, I will totally agree with that. But I will say, you said it was not your favorite of the series. The way that you've been talking about Michael R. Miller's book, not your favorite of the series, is still pretty awesome book.
Oh, I would rate it really high.
Right.
I'm saying that's how much I loved Unbound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then it was time for our Patreon book club. And, we already thanked all the folks that put this together for us. And this time it was Howard Andrew Jones's Lord of a Shattered Land. And this was so interesting to me because just like starting the month out with Robert E. Howard, and I said, you can almost smell like that wood fiber from that cheap pulpy paper from Weird Tales as you open it up and you read that sword and sorcery tale from so long ago, right? This is that sword and sorcery tale, but it's absolutely told for 2025. It has all the nuance and storytelling for 2025 that we're used to, right? Modern type storytelling, but it tells that type of story. This is a story about Hanavar, who sees his beloved city. He's like the top general, the top leader, and he sees his beloved city burned to cinders and razed. He's lost his family. He's lost his friends. He's lost his world. He's seen it. And then he starts on his journey. They suspect him dead. And he starts on this journey of retribution, revenge. No, that's where you'd think the sword and sorcery would go. But Hanavar, again, just like Conan, the Hour of the Dragon, Hanavar, a little bit older in the tooth, been around a little bit, probably like in his 50s or so maybe. And he starts on this journey. Does he still have enough left in him to accomplish what he wants to do? There's only about 1,000 people left from this amazing city, and they've been spread out, right? And they're taken into slavery, and he's going to find each and every one of them and free them one by one. This is his journey of redemption, starting with his daughter, who he's not even sure is alive or not. And as he tries to put together the pieces of where these survivors are, including his daughter, are they alive? How can I get to them? How can I free them? You start to find out about the politics of this world, the religions of this world, the dark gods seeping in from the underworld into this world, why the city was raised, his past, his friends, his enemies that might be friends moving in the future. All these kind of things you expect from sword and sorcery, and you start to get them on this journey of redemption. And it's so well done. It's such a great time. This is actually told just like those old magazines, Weird Tales and the like, that would serialize these stories and give you like a little bit of a short story. And then next month you might have a second short story that leapfrogs off that first one and starts to tie things together. This is told in very much like a collection of short story type of fashion. So in the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about the momentum building, because it's like I'm getting like a short story, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And, oh, that's a great stopping place. Like I could set that down and go off and do something because it has that great end like a short story does. So before I pick up the next short story. But then as you get further and further in, all of these short stories start to tie together and dovetail one off of the other and build and build and build in tension, and you can't stop. And the characters are amazing. The journey is amazing. The world is amazing. The style is amazing. And at the end, he even... Howard Andrew Jones, even at the very end here in the epilogue, even tries to channel Robert E. Howard's style to give a little bit more of a certain kiss of a love letter to the sword and sorcery style. Because part of the amazing fun part of this for me is that early on in his travels, Hanavar meets an actor. And this actor begins to travel along with him on this journey to teach Hanavar makeup and stagecraft and acting so he can become different people, because he's one of the most well-known generals that this one country has raised his city. So he has to hide out to be able to accomplish this mission. So this actor is traveling with him, writing down everything that happens, because this is going to make a great play someday, this arc of redemption, as well as teaching him all the steps of how he can hide in plain sight and more accomplish this mission by learning all this stagecraft, right? So at the very end, you're starting to find out that, at the very end, this is told not by that actor traveling with him, but by a great descendant looking back, and storytelling motifs and tropes and styles have changed. So this storyteller looking back at his great and is kind of changing things for his time. So at the end, you can even channel the way Robert E. Howard would have wrote, with a little bit of tongue in cheek and a little bit of fun, because you're looking at two different styles as two different storytelling methods. One has kind of passed over onto the other. So there's many layers going on here. It almost gets to be a little bit meta as far as storytelling goes. It's not just, it's a sword and sorcery with no new tricks. Absolutely has some layers of new tricks to it. And the character of Hanavar, wow, so much fun. Immediately ordered book 2. That should tell you everything you need to know. Closed it, set it down, immediately ordered in book 2.
And in any other month, I would ask you if it was up for book of the month, but I see what book is next.
You already know. I've got a series here that's going to be probably top 5. I got something your mom passed to me, which is always, never not top notch. And then, again, another buddy read. We're all every other month going through Wars of Light and Shadow by Janie Wirtz. This month was Grand Conspiracy. Let me tell you something. I've had a little bit of time to think.
Uh-huh.
And Warhost of Vastmark, I think, is still my favorite of the series.
Right, because last we talked, you weren't sure.
It's so close. It's so close. And it's still unbelievably close. But I still just, the Warhost of Vastmark really, I still think I would say is so far my favorite of the series. But this is so close. Here's the amazing thing about this series that I'm first of all, just the style, the prose style, and the power over language that the amazing Janie Wirtz has. And I think you could speak to this as well, Jacob, after having just read the first book, Curse of the Mist Wraith, right?
I can. Not only the first book, but The Gallant as well, which is her novella that kind of sets up the world of the Wars of Light and Shadow, which you call
Absolutely.
her prose transportive, which I think the best way to describe that is there are so many times, and when I say so many times, I mean really like at least 2 or 3 times per chapter that you'll read a sentence and go, good God, if I sat down and tried to make a sentence that beautiful, it'd take me days. It really would.
Yes, absolutely true. And it is transportive. It is language. It is storytelling. It is depth in a way that we don't see our world as we get up and eat our breakfast cereal and drive to work every day. It is different. It is transportive. It is complete. It will take you to another place and another way of thinking and seeing this world and going on this journey with these characters. And these characters, we've got 2 estranged half-brothers pulled in completely different directions, cursed to where they cannot be together. And what they do as they're moving through this series is shaping their very world around them. What happens springs and ripples away from them in so many different ways. And now that we've got to this, book 4 or 5, depending on what collection you're doing, because one book was split apart or wasn't, we've now traveled with them long enough to where it is built to a point where they are entirely different people than what we first were introduced to in Curse of the Mist Wraith. From book to book to book, not only the writing style, the beautiful language, the transportive language, as I like to say, but the architecture of this. Nothing is wasted. Every step, every meeting of a new character, every new area traveled to is going to come back around and pay off. You can be assured of this because it just builds and builds and builds with consequence and decisions that make these characters become different people right before your very eyes. So now by the time we've got to this book, Arathon and Lysair are entirely different than what they were from the beginning. We're not even quite halfway through of this series. I can only imagine where this is going. And not only are they entirely different, but as a true master storyteller, she will just drop these seeds. No big signpost, no neon letting you know, but she will just drop these seeds of what's really happening in this world. What is this group of female enchantresses? Where do they really come from? What do they really want? How do they really work? She'll just drop those seeds and you start to realize this. This group of 7 wizards, why do they seem to be diametrically opposed? What is it that they really want? What is it that they're really working towards? Why are they not 7? What is their history? Who is missing? Why are they missing? All these little seeds get dropped as you move along. Sometimes it's a big event. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes a character is taken off the board and it's just very, very subtle seed drop, but that loss is going to have ripples and effects that move everybody in a different direction going forward. So it's a lovely way of making sure that you're taking the time to really let this sink in and let it become a part of you and let you become a part of this world, as opposed to just, oh, we got this. No. Don't move through it like that. Spend your time in this world. Let it wash over you. Let the language wash over you. Let the world become a part of you. Because what you will start to realize is, in these diametrically opposed groups and these machinations and these intrigues and these character developments and these people as they change, as they want new things, it all reflects a life lived and a world that we will absolutely recognize and become extremely topical for things that are happening, that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And it's so well done. I enjoyed it so much. This is already on my best of list, and it's going to do nothing but go higher, I think, because I had to sit for a good long while and go, is this my favorite? Is this my favorite? Because it doesn't build to that huge moment. She's not afraid as a storyteller to build to a moment, and it's just like, you know what? It's going to build, and the tension's going to ratchet up, and you're going to be breathlessly following page to page to page. And I was talking to Brian about this. It's a page turner going towards the end. And then the end is just, oh, that's just an amazing interpersonal character moment that we built up to and ended with, as well as an earth-changing event. So where she puts her camera and what she focuses on, she's not afraid of just doing it to the human aspect and not the earth-shattering aspect of the story. So can't wait to talk to the whole group about this one. In the running for my favorite, I think Warhost edges it out a little bit for me, but right up there at the top so far. And can't wait to pick
a reason
up the
as
next
well. Warhost, I believe, is kind of the end of a bit of a saga, right? And now you're in the Alliance, the Alliance
It is
of
a
Light.
It is a series told in arcs.
Thank you.
And Warhost of Vastmark is the end of that arc.
Yeah.
And this is book 2 of a 5-book arc.
Yes.
So if the second book of this arc is already like, oh my gosh, this could be in contention of my fave of the series, I can't even imagine what I'm about to find in Peril's Gate, which is book 3, and then books 4 and 5 of this arc, this Alliance of Light arc, that are just dealing with so many things that I think are vastly important for us to examine right now, told in an amazing, amazing way. What a special series. Amazing way to wrap up the month.
By the way, if you want to get started on Wars of Light and Shadow, there is finally an audiobook for The Gallant, narrated by BookTube's own Zachary Shea, so check that out in the description. If
you
want
can
to
check
get in
that
on
out.
the
And
New World.
there is an audiobook of the first book, Curse of the Mistwraith, as well. So
yes.
yeah. So you can, if you're into audiobooks,
yeah,
you can get started that way. So I got to pick from all this my book of the month.
Of what your favorite was? I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think you have an answer already, judging by...
I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
yeah.
But look, this is going to be top 5.
Right? Yeah.
This was just an amazingly fun read. Just tons of fun, old style sword and sorcery done with modern sensibilities. This was just an amazing breath of fresh air. And my wife never misses when she says pick something up and read it, that the narrative voice is going to be something you haven't seen, but you want to see. She's never wrong, and she wasn't wrong here. But I think book 4 of this, The Price of Spring, is not my favorite of the series. My favorite of Long Price Quartet would be book 3, An Autumn War. And since this was in contention for my favorite of the series so far, I've got to give it to Grand Conspiracy. And what an amazing conspiracy it is. The seeds that were dropped in that first book of the Alliance of Light, which is Fugitive Prince, all start to blossom. They all start to bloom. You find out what that conspiracy is. Not just one. It's wheels within wheels within wheels. And they're all going to turn and run right over you in the best possible way. So this, not even going to struggle, was my book of the month.
I cannot tell you how happy it makes me that Janny has won Book of the Month once again.
Yeah, it's not her first time. Not her first win.
Third, I think. Maybe.
It's either I'm 2 or 3, I don't know, but not her first win, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. What a birthday month, man. Well done. Well planned, well executed.
Knocked out of the park.
Yeah.
Knocked out. I specifically put a stack together that I thought would be special, and it absolutely was.
Every single read was great.
It really, I didn't hit a clunker for the whole month.
Yeah.
It was just a great, great month. I hope, and you had a great month too, 5-star, even though it was just one.
Just one, but it was awesome. Best of the series for me so far.
Oh man, that's the best. That's the best feeling. And I think this is going to be a special series for you.
I think it is. And yet every time I hear you talking about Janny Words, I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Oh, you got to get back.
I know.
You got to get back.
I can't wait.
Yeah. It'll happen for you. Don't worry about it.
It will.
How about you? Did you have a special month? Was it filled with 5-star reads? Was it filled with, oh my gosh, is this my favorite of the series or not? Did you have to sit with yourself and have a little bit of a civil war in your own mind about how that ranks or how it rates? Did you stumble across something entirely different? Did you stumble across, this has got to be top 5 series for me? Did you stumble across like an old friend style that you loved when you were a kid, but it's told in a totally fresh and different way? What was your month like? Hit us up in comments. Let us know. We're going to answer each and every one of them because that's why we're here to talk about books with people that love books, love the kind of books we love. Hit that thumbs up button for us if you don't mind. That, you know what that does? That helps us get out there a little bit further, helps us meet new people, and every new people we meet that comes in, that is a completely fresh take, a beating heart that we haven't enjoyed yet, that we haven't included in our group yet, that is going to see each and every one of these stories in a completely different way. And that's going to make us all richer. And that's what we're about here. And if you haven't hit that subscription button, this is your first time, couple times, you haven't hit that button yet, let me tell you what happens when you join this group. This is a group that loves to hang out on Discord and here in comments and everywhere else and talk about art and story and what it means to us and how it changes us and how it changes how we see the world and the people that we share the world with. If that sounds like your kind of group, hit that button, become a part of it. And when you do, it gives you a tingle right down to your toes. I'll tell you that. That's scientific fact. I think the wingman will back me up there.
I do indeed. Subscribe so nothing happens.
No, that's not the catchphrase.
It's mine.
I'm going to get a bumper sticker made, and I'm going to make you put it on your car.
That says subscribe so nothing happens? That would be awesome.
And I'm going to make you put it right on the paint part, so you can't just peel it off someday.
That's just mean.
I'm doing it. If that's your slogan you want to live by, it's going on the paint.
I would love that. Are you serious? I'll take it.
No, I'm not making you a bumper sticker of that. That's never going anywhere near you. That's not our sentiment. That's not what happens here. That's never going to happen.
I was going to say, I was surprised that we would have that in the company budget.
There's no budget here.
There's no budget. It's barely a company.
I don't think it's fair to call it a company.
No, only by law.
Yeah, only by law. Oh, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. I think this was a long one. I don't think I cut anything short.
I'm looking at the timer and you failed quite miserably, actually.
Oh, that's what we do here. Fail quite miserably. I'm glad I took you down with me.
I'm getting you a bumper sticker that says fail quite miserably.
I'll put it right on the paint. Because that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're still here, you're book people. And in our book, that makes you the best people. Thanks so much for joining us here on Talking Story.